In this video, I'm going to give you the do's and don'ts of dating. 6 of each. We'll start with the do's, we'll end with the don'ts. These are just my personal do's and don'ts. I will never give you a relationship advice. I'm absolutely not qualified for that. But first dates, I know my way around. Bit too much information to give maybe. I don't know. Anyway, here are my 6 do's and don'ts. First one, be honest about your intentions. I can't stress this enough. So we live in a world of the manosphere, Andrew Tate, all that kind of stuff. And I understand that could be kind of a tricky place to go into. It's not my thing at all. We've really blurred the lines between alpha male and gentleman. Let's move toward the gentleman side. It's way more tried and tested. It's way more just the right thing to do. The first way to do that is from the start. Be clear about your intentions. If you just want to bang, there are plenty of apps for that. There's plenty of women that want to do that too. Women also enjoy sex. Who knew? If you're unsure, you can ask, your general discussion should give you an indicator. Don't be creepy, be respectful. That's the most important thing. It's kind of a bit cliche to ask, but what you're looking for is a normal thing to say. Some people will get very turned off by it. But if you are just looking just for one-nighters, I think you should be upfront, and I think you should ask the questions first. And if that is what you're after and you get the all clear from the outset, you're going to have a good night. If you're looking for love, you're looking for a relationship, then at least you know from the person you're going on a date with that that's what you're after. But we should really assume that that's the default mode. Ultimately, the tone of the first date should be you both enjoying the time together, getting to know each other, not trying to get something off the other person. So do number 2 is dress for the occasion. Now, there'll be some don'ts about this as well, but we'll stick to the do's. First up, whatever bar or occasion you choose, whatever social aspect of it, make sure you're not overdressed or underdressed. I will do a video about best first date fits, but we'll stick into the more general idea of it at the moment. Fragrance is another one. Make sure you smell good, but you have to be really careful not to overdo it. Really here, it's all about keeping it simple, knowing where you're going, so you just dress for that right occasion. So you don't look out of place, you just want to look good, and that will give you confidence to have a good night. So number 3, don't be too edgy, or don't try to be too edgy. There's a common theme with women's dating profiles that they want a good flirt to roast ratio. Now this is tough, because you want to stand out as being funny. If you have that kind of sense of humour where you're a little bit on the edge, that's fine, but you don't want to go too far, especially on a first date. She doesn't know you, she doesn't understand your nuances of your personality and your sense of humour, so best to keep it relatively reined in. Relative. Don't be boring, but also don't be a dick. A really good thing here is just to be self-deprecating. Be confident in the way you are, but also be willing to laugh at yourself. Be open and spontaneous, move with the conversation, but also laugh at yourself and just be a bit self-deprecating without being too far the other way. So, tip number 4, shoes. This is on its own from dressing for the occasion because it's so important. Women will look at your shoes before they look at anything else. They need to be a whole load of stuff. So bear in mind, they need to fit in with your outfit, fit in with the occasion, be clean, not be too over the top, not be too casual. It's a tough one, but it's one I promise you, if you invest your time and effort into researching your full outfit and a bit of money into it, it will pay off immensely. Do number 5 is prepare. Prepare your fits in advance. Get to know some ideas of outfits that you're going to wear for dates way in advance, so you know they're ready to go, everything's washed, everything's prepared, so you don't get caught out by getting in a rush, because life does get in the way, and that's when bad fits happen, that's where bad hygiene happens, that's where just any one detail, it might be the difference between second date or no date. For fits, get a Pinterest board together. Know the kind of ideas that you want to look at, the kind of vibe you want to look at, then replicate it with the clothes that you've got in your wardrobe. For the venue, you need to know, can you sit down? Can you have an intimate conversation if that's the thing you want to go for? Can you even get in? If you live in a busy city like London, it's tough to get in some bars on a Friday or Saturday night. So you have to really be prepared where you're going to go. Have a plan B for after. If the date goes well, you need to think of where you're going to go next. You're going to have an out route for something fun, something spontaneous. Maybe you don't want to even let her know that you've got something planned or until the moment. And then say it's another bar, a jazz bar, anything, a bowling alley, wherever, like something still fun, Still loose and easy. Some of you can talk and flirt still, but something you can show that you've put the effort in and you've thought about this, or show that you know the area, know the place, and it will get you in the good books. And do number 6 is take the initiative in all aspects of the date. This doesn't mean you have to be an alpha male and be like, and order for her or anything like that. That's a completely different thing. What it means is know the place you're going to go. If you've asked her out, then that's when you've got to plan and prepare yourself. You don't have to go back and forth. Where do you want to go? What day do you want to do? No, offer it up. If she says no, I can't do it, then you offer something else. Obviously, that doesn't mean you're in charge of all the decisions. It just means take the initiative first. I can't tell you the amount of dates I've lost out to because I was just either not prepared well, or I just asked them too many questions. What do you want to do? What day do you want to do it? Where do you want to go? What do you fancy doing? It's not good for initiative and showing a sign of confidence as well. So get that right, I promise. It's a really big tick. So that was the do's. Let's get to the don'ts, and they're just as important. So the first place we start is with your fit. No statement pieces, nothing too over the top. If you're going on a date to a bar, you might not want to wear a double-breasted suit and a tie. You also might not want to wear some really garish colours, some bright colours. You need to really blend in with your environment, look good, but don't try anything new and different that you've not tried before. Stick to the tried and tested. Stick to the things you know work. This works with shoes as well. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and you'll do well. Ties, I would personally steer clear of. Double-breasted suits, in terms like full suits. Obviously it depends where you're going. Obviously it depends on the person you're dating. But for a casual event, for dating, it's a tough one to. You can really make the other person feel like they're either underdressed. Again, another don't underdress. If you're going to a really nice bar, make an effort. So there is, again, with most of these, it's just about getting a balance right. Leather jackets are another one. Be careful. If it's really simple, okay, but you don't want to look like you've stepped off a bike or something. You're trying to just be too cool. It's just too obvious. So bright colours, statement pieces, leather jackets, even if you wear them later on, because I love all of that stuff. It's just for this initial first date. Number 2, don't overshare. Done this one before. You want to open up. Remember, this is just a first introductory meeting with someone. Okay, you'll be having a drink and sharing stories and asking each other questions. But if you've just had a recent bereavement in the family that's very close to you, or an anxiety episode or something like that, of course you want to talk and open about this stuff, and this is probably where it's most tempting. But just for the first date, take it a little bit easy. It might flow, you might even get a really good conversation out of it. It's just for the first date. I'd be super wary of that one. Don't number 3, don't take her home if you like her. Right, that doesn't sound right. If you've agreed that you're looking for a relationship and you're trying to date, don't take her home. Even if you've really got on well, you think, okay, this could be the love of your life, and you get married, that on the first date can be a real tricky thing. So if you just show a little bit of restraint, it's tough, I know. But if you can show a little restraint, it'll pay off later. It's also not a plan B. Don't have that planned out first, unless you've agreed it, which is fine. Don't number 4, don't drink too much. Before the date, if you've got a bit of nerves, don't do that. On the date, be careful, try to match up a little bit. You don't want to end up like a sloppy drunk at the end. Obviously everyone's different in the way they are, but you just want to be in control and show control throughout. Don't number 5 is don't talk about money. No matter what. Don't complain. It's in my opinion the first date you should offer to pay if you've asked us to go out with you. But I know that's a whole minefield. I certainly am not in the camp of paying for everything forever for the rest of eternity. But if you've asked someone to go out on a date, normally the thing is you pay for them. So be prepared. That comes into the preparation. Know the bar you're going to, know how much the drinks are, be prepared for a certain amount of money. If you've had a really good date and you've enjoyed each other's company, and even if you look at the bill and you even just give a little complaint, it's sometimes enough to kibosh you a little bit. It's a tough one. I know it's not fair. Take it. It's your responsibility for this, from being prepared. So if you've had a really lovely date and you get to know each other really well, and if you've had a few too many Negronis and it comes up a little bit lumpy, so just grin and bear it, I'm afraid. I know it's not fair, but you just for your own good, even if your date is thinking, no, it's fine, I'll happily pay, it's just to be sure that it goes well. This is more about that. To not risk a really good date, first date to a potential relationship by moaning about 30, 40 quid. Just grin and bear it, pray it, and then suss all that out later. The first date is the most important one. And don't number 6 is don't worry. If you're nervous before the date, that's absolutely fine, it's completely normal. Your date's probably feeling exactly the same too. If you don't get on, again, that's absolutely fine. If it's not sparking up in the first few minutes or it goes a little bit quiet, just keep focused and have a good evening. Focus on having a good evening. If you focus on that and having a good time, it should go okay. Just remember, your date wants you to succeed. Your date wants you to both get on with each other and do well. They're looking for someone too, otherwise they wouldn't be on the date and they wouldn't agree to go on the date with you. So don't worry about it. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. Just take it easy and enjoy your night. And that's my 6 do's and don'ts. Let me know what you think. Am I horrendously wrong in some of this? I mean, I am still single, so it is very possible. Let me know your thoughts. Is there anything I'm missing? Any good do's and don'ts? And yeah, also check out store Archer & Woods pre-owned menswear and vintage watches if you want a really affordable date fit. And hit me up archerandwoods.com, @archerandwoods on the socials, and look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.